Hello, my name is Brandon, and welcome to another episode of 60s Week. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be traveling once again to the year 1967, Both Sides Now by Judy Collins, and The Day Begins, and Dawn is a Feeling by the Moody Blues. Now let's time travel back to 1967 to my very own Pleasant Valley, located in Retroland. Wow, beautiful. All right, let's move on to Both Sides Now by Judy Collins, 1967, from the album Wildflowers. It's folk and Baroque pop. Written by Joni Mitchell, but this was the first released version of the song. Really interesting. I know Joni did one later on, or maybe two later on. It was released as a single in 1968, doing very well, therefore. Won a Grammy in 1969 for Best Folk Performance, and it's one of Collins' signature songs. Lyrically, it's Joni Mitchell's contemplation of the multiple facets of clouds, love, and life itself. Here we go.
Goes and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
Again, very 60s, very pleasant, perfect for, our Pleasant Valley. But this one was hypnotic, but in a different way. I'm so used to hypnotic songs on my channel, but this one has like a 60s hypnotic feel that only this decade can give, if that makes sense. Just hits differently, but very, very pleasant, pretty. Another magical feel to this one, similar to the Petula Clark song I heard yesterday. We get some light, soft drums to match the song. Oftentimes drums are, booming, strong, loud, powerful, but again, powdery, soft drums here, to match the light feel of the song. Judy Collins' voice, amazing. It was pure, pristine, strong, and delicate, all at the same time. Really enjoyed it. I also love the instrumentation choices they made here. The music in verse 1 was very pleasant. They were talking about clouds. Then in verse 2, she changed subjects, started talking about love, and there was new instrumentation on the left. Really nice way to build up the song, change the song up. Then in verse 3, she started talking about life, and there was some really cool percussion, I think some bells or some metal percussion chimes going on there. I'm not sure what instrument that was. Sounded beautiful, and again, variety and building up. Each verse kind of had their own lyrical and musical elements to them. The whole song was sugary sweet, which is a good thing in my opinion, yet it was still very reflective and had a lot of depth to it. I really appreciate that duality that makes it a very unique and powerful song. They were really able to fit a lot of subject matter and musical elements in just over 3 minutes, so a very successful song. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 4 golden records. That's an A- for Both Sides Now by Judy Collins, 1967. Thank you so much, Judy Collins, Joni Mitchell, and anyone else involved in creating this little gem. All right, moving on. I'm very, very excited for the next 2 songs. Yes, we're listening to The Day Begins and Dawn, Dawn is a Feeling from 1967 by the Moody Blues. This album has been built up highly by some of you guys, so I'm excited to finally check out the first 2 back-to-back songs from the album. That album, of course, being titled Days of Future Past. The album is art rock, prog rock, psychedelic rock, and baroque pop. Both songs contain orchestral and rock elements. I'm super excited for that orchestra. But the band and the orchestra were recorded separately for most of the album. Really interesting. The album was also recorded in secret, different from what the record company had asked for, but in the end they approved of it. It did well in the UK and the US, and lyrically the 2 songs vividly describe the transition from night to dawn, poetically presenting the cycle of life through these images and metaphors. Let's get right into it.
cold-hearted orb that rules the night removes the colors from our sight. Red is gray and yellow white, but we decide which is right and which is an illusion. Pinprick holes in a colorless sky let insipid figures of light pass by. The mighty light of 10,000 suns challenges infinity and is soon gone. Nighttime to some, a brief interlude, to others the fear of solitude. Brave Helios, wake up your steeds, bring the warmth the countryside needs.
Dawn is a feeling, a beautiful ceiling. The smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to. You look around you, things they astound you. So breathe in deep, you're not asleep, open your mind. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to.
Do you understand that all over this land there's a feeling? In minds far and near, things are becoming clear with a meaning.
Now that you're knowing, pleasure starts flowing. It's true, life flies faster than eyes could ever see. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to.
just as epic, magical, glorious, beautiful, as you guys told me, as I expected. Wow, I'll need a minute. Moody Blues, you did it to me. You gave me the very best emotions that music could possibly give me, and I enjoyed every single second. Really interesting opening sound, very mysterious. It kept growing and growing, getting louder, maybe closer, and I didn't know what was to come. But then the music kicked in. This ultra majestic orchestra. I got chills instantly, and I got many chills throughout the song. Hardly ever happens. I was immersed in that beautiful, magical orchestration for a little bit. Then we got a big change up. It turned springy and sprightly. Really, really cool. You know, all this music, all the sections were evocative of so much imagery in my head. I was seeing, you know, the dawn, the spring, flowers, the stars, the moon, fog, etc. Wow. Orchestration again. I can't speak enough about it. It was lush, timeless, dramatic, and very magical. Just sweeping sounds gave me so many chills, but still some nice peaks and valleys in this song. I wanted to hear the whole album right now. I didn't want to stop it because I know the rest is going to be amazing as well. The spoken vocals by Mike Pinder, very interesting, and made that section very poetic. Great narration, a nice vocal tone as he was speaking. It felt like a mini movie about life. I loved that it was so grand and overwhelming at times, yet so soft and gentle at other times. Again, those peaks and valleys. I was physically moved several times, just kind of being dragged along in the best way possible on this amazing journey. And I did hear that Nights in White Satin excerpt, a perfect and unexpected moment, blended seamlessly in the song, bookends to the album, since we end on that song apparently, or at least that's part of the suite in the last songs. Again, not too familiar with all this, but I just can't wait to hear it all. Alright, now to the second song, Dawn. Dawn is a Feeling. More indescribable musical beauty here. Just, wow, took my breath away. We get the vocals, the singing of the amazing Justin Hayward. His voice was deep, expressive, and perfect as always. I loved all the vocal melodies written for this song. I think there were two vocalists again. Justin sang, and Mike Pinder came back to do spoken word. Is that correct? You guys can let me know. Interestingly, I got some slight Alan Parsons Project vibes in this song, sections of this song. A nice, perfect reference there. I think most of this song had a darker feel with those strong chords, those deep, deep sounds. But then I love that in the end we changed back to that lush, beautiful orchestration that we got in the first song. The feelings that this music evokes, almost impossible to put into words. I did my best, but in general, I got a warm, safe feeling throughout both of these songs. It was a very special experience. It's so tempting to hear the rest of the album all the way through, like today. But I better not. Since it's from the 60s, I can't do it on my regular YouTube channel. I better save the rest for Patreon when I finally get that going. Clearly, there's no question on how I feel about these two songs. I'm giving both the Double Epic Platinum Record Award. Yes, for The Day Begins and Dawn, Dawn is a Feeling by the Moody Blues, 1967. Thank you so much, Justin Hayward, John Lodge, Mike Pinder, Ray Thomas, Graham Edge, the London Festival Orchestra, and Peter Knight for conducting and arranging that magnificent orchestra. Alright, another epic day of 60s music. Really enjoy today. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. I would love to know your opinion about them. So you take care, stay safe, stay hydrated, and remember to let peace, calm, and light into your day and night. And I'll see you next time in the 60s.